All right. So since this video is about creating content for augmented reality, we're going to start in SketchUp. SketchUp is a 3D modeling program that can be used on the internet, or there's downloadable apps as well. It obviously has a wide range of capabilities, and today we're going to use it to create a little bit of a house. While there are lots of options online for 3D modeling, such as Tinkercad, or on desktop computers such as the open source Blender, SketchUp gives us an advantage today in that it is able to export easily the type of file that we're going to use later on. In this case, it's going to be an FBX file. This is by no means the only type of file that can be used for augmented reality, but it is convenient for us today. What I'm using today is an educational version of SketchUp, which is able to integrate with Google G Suite for Education and Microsoft for Education. They also include a number of lesson plans and different types of projects for students to complete. I am by no means an expert at creating things in SketchUp, and this house that I am creating is just going to be something simple that we can use as a 3D model to demonstrate the rest. Obviously, I've sped this process up a little bit for the ease of demonstrating today. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to add some color to make our model look a little bit nicer. That was a little bright, so I darkened it up a little bit here. Notice that I'm using colors and not textures. For those of you who have used SketchUp before, using textures is a great way to create a lot more realism on the outside of your model. But we're going to run into some issues with if we use textures when we go to put it into the AR platform. So for the purposes of this demonstration, we're simply going to use colors. Also, to make the 3D model a little bit more interesting, I'm going to delete the center of the windows so that they do appear transparent. You can see into the building. And why don't we give the inside of the building some color as well. One thing I cut out of the video here is just the steps I went through to save the model. But our next step is to export the model as an FBX file format. Here we're going to purge all of the unused data. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we select the options as you can see on the screen, but we are not going to export the texture maps since there are no texture maps in this particular case. When SketchUp Online exports, it simply sends the task to the cloud and waits for the cloud to complete the task. So although you've said that you need to export it, it is now processing that, and you can see the status in the list there. And as it goes through, when it becomes available, you'll be able to download it. With that task done, let's jump over to my web AR, which you might remember from the last video. Again, we're going to create a new project with the AR being placed up on a QR code marker. And the first thing that I'm going to do here is I am going to go in and create a platform or base to put my model on. In this case, because it's a house, let's put it on some green grass. The size of the base doesn't really matter that much right now because we can always adjust it using the tools on the right later on. All right, now let's add the 3D model of the house that we've created. By going to the 3D model section, we're going to upload the model. And we find where we had downloaded it from before. Once we have the model uploaded, it should place it automatically. And it's a little bit fun to scale it up. And we want to make sure that it's placed centered over top of the QR code. We're going to raise it up a little bit so that we don't see the grass inside the house. And then take a look around from each side so that we can see it a little bit. That house is looking a little bit lonely here, so let's see if we can add in some trees. My WebAR does include access to some free 3D models, and trees happen to be one of them. So we put it in, got to drag it off to the side, and we're going to need to make these a little bit bigger to fit with the scale of the house a little bit. One thing that I didn't mention as we imported the house from SketchUp into my WebAR is that the colors are slightly off. I don't know exactly why that is. Hopefully it's not too much of an issue. Once we've got the model looking the way we want it, we can publish it. It's going to show us a QR code which we can download and print off, or we could just view it through our mobile device and let it follow us to the website. However, because of the orientation of the QR code on our screen, when we were to look at it, it would have the model tilted on its side. Here's my camera on my phone. We're going to follow that link. Following the QR code takes us to the website. We click launch. We allow access to the phone camera. And there it is. There's our 3D model with trees and all. Notice that I can move around. I can even see inside by moving the location of my phone. As long as I keep the QR code in the frame of the camera, we will be able to see that AR model. Also, instead of just moving around, we can actually turn the QR code itself. I'm moving it with my hand here, and we can see that it moves in real time as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope this video gives you the confidence to go out and give it a try yourself.